All right, folks, welcome to the IWM Broadcast Network of the iNRS Racing Series. And tonight we are at Bristol for the Lindsay's Carpet and Paint 250. I'm Rick Souza here with Sal. I'm going to screw it up again, Sal. It's been...
That's okay. Sal Nicosia here with Rick. Glad to be back in the booth. It's been a minute. This should be a great race here tonight. A lot to be excited about. Bristol is always one of these places, the last great Coliseum. Lots to battle for, lots to fight for here tonight as the point standings have really heated up here in the iNRS league. And it'll be a great race here tonight, Rick. I'm excited to be back.
Absolutely. Qualifying is underway right now. We've got Richard Mills on track at the moment. A number of drivers are getting out there. We've got about 22 drivers that are here tonight for this event. You know, coincidentally, it's the event at Bristol is happening this weekend. We kind of mirror that season, and so a number of drivers have said, "Hey, you know what? I'm okay in the standings. I'm going to go watch a race." So we've got a number of drivers who have decided to go to Bristol, do their thing, watch the race in real time. Well, others are here because they've got a qualifying to do. They've got a race to run. They've got a playoff round to get through and see if they can punch their ticket into the next round. Oh, and there's Richard Mills spinning right there. Let's jump over and see someone else who's out there trying to make it around.
Yeah, this is a tough place to qualify. I mean, you see that there with Mills as we're getting through the session. Matt Parasini now finishing his run, drivers finishing their runs all over, but it's a tough place in these cars. Things get slippery in a hurry. They're real tight off the exit. And, you know, even watching the practice session here just before we went live on the broadcast, there's not a lot of room to escape. God forbid something does go sideways or you go sideways here at Bristol Motor Speedway. So quick reactions, part of the key here tonight for these drivers. And qualifying is going to be something of the utmost importance. If they're at the front, they kind of control their own destiny a little bit more than being mired back in the pack. But we'll see how things shake out here as they continue the qualifying session. Some fast cars out here tonight.
Yeah, looking for some other drivers who are still on the track. That's Garrett Walden. One of the big things, if you are familiar with iRacing, is they just released a massive update this week with all new cars and tracks and configurations, and they completely revamped this car. And we're seeing, unfortunately, potentially some results of that revamping because drivers are saying it's a bit more challenging, things are different, and they're having to get used to something they've been driving all season, and now it's not the same.
Yeah, it's one of these things that you just can't plan for truly as a driver, you know, or an iRacer, whether you're racing in a league like the iNRS series or officials or anywhere. It's a hard transition to make. You get into a rhythm, you get into a groove, you feel like you know a car, what's sitting underneath of you, especially running a whole season. And now, you know, coming into a race like this tonight, especially at Bristol, you feel like maybe you're a little bit more guarded just because the car itself is going to fight you in addition to fighting for position throughout the field with your competitors. So definitely going to play a little bit of a factor here tonight as see Ron Fitting come to the end of his run there, and definitely going to make things that much more interesting. Another layer to the competition in the iNRS series and here at Bristol.
So if you're unfamiliar with how the qualifying works, the drivers have the option to go out on their own, and it all runs concurrently. So we're hopping from driver to driver to see who's out there making times, who's finished. Billy Smith is out there now. I think he may be the last car to make it around. Again, we've got 22 drivers who have entered. I'm not sure we'll see them all on the track, but we'll take it minute by minute here as we'll see these drivers finish up. We've got qualifying almost wrapped up here, and then we'll go into about a 5-minute drivers meeting. Drivers will have their time, and we'll go from there. So, but again, thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS Racing Series. Forgive my voice, been scratchy all day, dealing with, I don't know what I'm dealing with. It's something, so.
No, it's all good. We're I'm excited for this one too. I know it's been a while since I've been back up in the booth and been keeping up with things here in the iNRS series points wise, and being able to have a fresh perspective. It feels like a coming back for the first time. So especially to be able to do it at Bristol, I think is makes it that much more exciting as we watch the 70 of Billy Smith. Just again talking about that car, very tight on the exit there, slips and slides his way down, trying to push it through the corner for everything it was worth. But yeah, no, it should be a great race here tonight. Very exciting stuff. We're glad everybody's tuned in, and I don't know, this is prime time iRacing stuff right here, ladies and gentlemen. So
All right,
lock in, ready to go.
Let's cover the standings, we'll cover the race conditions, and we'll cover the keys for tonight's event. So first, the standings. Again, this is Bristol, the last race of the first round. These drivers here, Wenzel and Wheeler, have had a phenomenal playoff. Austin has won both races coming in. Jordan Wenzel's locked himself in. That's at the top. At the bottom, that's really where it counts. Ledger, Japs, Musso, those drivers are all right there on the bubble, just a few points away from the cut line. And then above the line, Jeffers, LaRue, Vince Burns, and Corey Ennis, they're all within striking distance. Fact is, if you're third on down, things could change.
Yeah, and especially at a track like this where all it takes is a little bit of a wiggle to cause a big wreck, and it's going to factor big time into where these drivers can advance through the playoff here, depending on what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking back the field, Jeffers is here, LaRue is here, John Ledger is here. Looking up through the field, Tony Japs is here, Jacob Musso is here, Joseph Musso is here. So I guess all the guys right there at that Corey Ennis, Burns, all those guys are here. They're all contending for that top 12 as we head from the first round into the second round.
Yeah, right. It's going to be a matter of, how many points can they rack up here tonight? We'll see what happens.
So speaking of tonight's event here at Bristol, 250 laps. There is a stage break at 83. Again, if you're familiar with this iNRS Racing Series, no forgiveness. There's no quick repairs. It's just, it is what it is. So if you break it, you own it. 6 sets of tires, which they will burn up. It's 82 degrees, so it's relatively cool here in Bristol, Tennessee. So it's going to be a really nice race time. The track should be good. We'll see how it all plays out. Weather is perfectly nice. It should be a good race. Simple enough. We'll see how it all plays out. But keys for tonight's race.
Yeah, keys to the race here tonight. Qualifying and track position 1-2 here kind of go hand in hand, Rick. Qualifying up at the front is going to give you the opportunity to have good track position and keep good track position all night long. Pit strategy really is a difficult thing here. Green flag stops are very difficult here. And that also equates into that third point of survive. Just make it through to the end here in one piece, and you will be amazed at where you can go, especially that this is a cutoff race. Drivers who you think would be shoe-ins here may find themselves on the wrong end of some business, and drivers who are looking to advance might be able to capitalize, or vice versa. I think that's what makes Bristol so exciting, and what makes it even more exciting is a cutoff race here in the iNRS series.
Absolutely. All right, so we've just got maybe a minute and a half before we go live back to racing, and the drivers will finish with their meetings, and then we'll get this race underway. 250 laps here at Bristol. These laps go by fast.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to the tune of 12, 13 seconds, 14 seconds a click, depending on how long the run goes on. I haven't seen the qualifying times, but these cars are fast. Times are fast here. It will be over. Blink and it'll be over. So a lot of action in a short period of time here tonight, and a lot will be decided.
Absolutely, because from here we decide our top 12, and then we move on to our next round of the playoffs. And speaking of that, let's talk about briefly what happens after we leave Bristol. We go over to New Hampshire, another challenging track. Like if you watch the Worldwide Tech Raceway event, that is a flatter track. Those degrees of banking, 7 and 9%, almost flat. New Hampshire, well, it's basically flat. It's a flat oval, tough drive. So that's our first race. Next week we head over to New Hampshire. Then we go to Kansas Speedway, another track that should make for an interesting round. And finally, we close out round 2 at the Roval. Those, there's always going to be that road course that pops in these playoffs. And for guys who excel at that road course, they're looking forward to it. Just like SVG is hoping he can make it through and get to that as well. So, should be very interesting.
Yeah, that's a great lineup of tracks. Going to really challenge these drivers in every type of discipline. Flat track, intermediate track, road course. I mean, you really can't ask for much better out of a round to decide who's going to go on to compete for a championship.
All right, drivers are beginning to get on track, getting ready to grid up. And with that, let's go ahead and bring up the grid for tonight's event.
Yeah, it looks good. Starting on the pole, a familiar name, Jacob Mossau, up there in the front. On his outside, it's Jordan Wenzel. Row 2, it's Tyler Lem and Matthew Parasini. Row number 3, it's Richard Mills and Corey Ennis. Row 4, we have the 69 car of Christopher Cash and the 42 of Tony Japs. Behind them, the 97 of Jeff Ramsdell. And rounding out the top 10, it's the 43 of Garrett Walden.
Dakota LaRue finds himself in the 6th row with Joe Musso to his outside. Next in 11th, you've got Dakota LaRue. Oh, I just said that, didn't I? Ty Bosick is sitting right there in the 7th row with John Ledger to his outside. That's his teammates taking up that 7th row. In 8th row, you've got Mike Wheel in the 96 and Vince Burns to his outside. Eric Jeffers is in 17th with Billy Smith, Ron Fitting, Austin Wheeler, John Drudris, and Austin Walton did not put up a qualifying time, and they'll be at the back of the pack.
Yeah, that's a stout field of 22 cars here tonight. It's a lot to put on a track this small. Drivers are going to be challenged throughout the field here tonight. I don't know. I'm really excited. Like we've been talking about it leading into this one. Just so much on the line, so much at stake here for these drivers. Just absolutely going to be, the lights will shine bright on these guys here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Absolutely, because it will be a night race. The lights are already on, warming up. As we will transition from day to night here, we'll see those temperatures probably fall as well.
That temperature change really going to get some speed into the track too here tonight as they go as the sun goes down. Should make for some really interesting racing, allow for different parts of the track to be used. Curious to see if that top line forms up and passing can happen. We know Bristol traditionally kind of turns into a chrome horn track where the bottom line, everybody kind of gets stuck down there and it's hard to make that passing happen. But I have a feeling that as a cutoff race, these guys will be trying everything they can.
All right, here we go. Green flag flies. Jordan Wenzel immediately drops down and moves himself in front of Jacob Musso.
Yeah, Musso really didn't want to give him that space there, but Wenzel really good on that jump on the start. He gets out to a lead here. Curious to see how far of a lead he can get out to, because we have one car already down on the apron, that Red Bull machine. But up here at the lead, it's looking good so far, but you could throw a blanket over these guys right now. That's Wenzel, Musso, Parasini, and Corey Ennis there, top 4. Tyler Lem in the 99, rounding out the top 5.
All right, solid top 5. All playoff drivers. They know what's on the line here. They've got to finish well. They have to be successful. And as we said in the keys, you got to survive, because 250 laps. Yes, they go by fast, but just like that, a mistake happens and you are out.
Yeah, as talking about survival, we got a good battle here. Cars side by side. That's the 27 of Corey Ennis and the 99 of Tyler Lem. playoff drivers looking for every little advantage they can have. You know, normally you wouldn't really think to push real hard at the beginning, but track position, one of the keys to the race here tonight, it is so crucial to get the space while you can, especially early in a run, especially when the tires are just wearing in before this place chews them up and spits them out. That's a unique part about Bristol, much like, you know, Dover. It's a concrete surface, and we know what kind of a cheese grater it can be depending on what kind of tire we have here in the real world. And here on iRacing, these cars can get loose in a hurry just from the fall off that these tires experience, and that'll dictate a lot of strategy here tonight as these cars look to absolutely just make the most of this. There's so much to unpack as this one goes on because of the cut, because of Bristol, because of what could happen. But we'll have to stay strapped in here and be ready for what can happen.
See, Jordan Wenzel has really got a pretty good gap going. Let's just kind of bring up that information real quick.
Oh, got a caution out here on the field. Looks like he's around sideways there. Saw some cars fanning out wide a little bit toward the rear, but the 18, I think, went for a little bit of a wall ride and a little bit of a spin around.
Yeah, and this is one of those tracks where you've just got to let off the brakes and get the car, just let it drop down to the apron. It's super hard to try and climb those corners and try to pull it off. But another thing to bring out here tonight, there's a theme, is 9/11. It is a remembrance race, so a lot of patriotic themes are out there. We were just talking earlier about the 22 of Ty Bostic, who has got a never forget 9/11 paint scheme. Others as well will highlight those as we can walk through the field. To the 19 of Ledger as well with the 9/11 paint scheme as well.
Yeah, really awesome of these guys to take some time, change their schemes, and especially on a day where it matters so much. So really great to see them out here running these schemes and supporting the families and the victims and the folks involved, everyone involved in 9/11 tragedy. Very cool stuff.
All right, I think Billy Smith is able to get his lap back. He went a lap down. I think he started from the pits earlier, so Jordan Wenzel is out, and he will be the control car. We get this race back underway. Again, we thank you for joining us here for the Lindsay's Carpet and Paint 250 here on the IWM Broadcast Network. This league has been a staple here each and every week since the season started. The iNRS group has been out here each and every week, giving us a preview of what happens on the weekends. So it's been it's been great for me, a chance to really get a feel for what's happening, what's going to happen over the weekend. I get to kind of see a little bit of a preview here on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love the fact that this league follows the Cup schedule, and it really gives you that extra insight. It does for me, and I hope it does for everybody else here watching at home. But interesting always to see what these cars run like on iRacing. I think we're in for quite a surprise even in the real world on Saturday night here at Bristol Motor Speedway in the IRL Cup Series. In the real world, you never know. Tire compound's always important. I don't think they change it up quite as much in iRacing as maybe they do in the Cup Series.
Yeah, I don't think Goodyear is bringing a special tire each and every week to iRacing, but yeah, you never know.
Yeah, especially ones that don't break the belt sander there on the test line. That was interesting. If folks haven't seen that clip, that's a good one. But yeah, it's been great to keep up with this and kind of get a deeper understanding and kind of and feel what it's like for just iRacing competitors who have to go out here and try to figure this out week after week. And there's some great competition out here, so we really learn a lot.
All right, back underway here. Jordan Wenzel out in front from the high line. I think that's the best place to start. Drops it right down.
Spinning. Big wreck. Almost a big wreck. The 27, the 88 sideways. 27.
That's Corey Ennis and Richard Mills.
Yeah, Ennis looked like he just went into that corner and it just snapped out of his hand on him. And as he went sideways, everybody checking up there to avoid. I think Mills just spun himself also from, he got a little help there from the 24.
Little
Of
tap.
Matthew Parasini. Interesting.
Little tap, yeah. And unfortunately, that then, yeah, I think the 88 just
Yeah.
tried to avoid it. And if nothing else, just a little tire wear there for the 88.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse. The 27 got into the door of a couple cars there as they scooted by him, and the 88 might have a little bit of a flat spot, but nothing too extensive. But better to get this happening now. Get your pit stop in, get yourself a fresh set of tires under caution, and get it out of the system. Let's let's go racing nice and clean and green. Hopefully here the rest of the way. We'll see. That's a tough place, though. You see, that 27 car Venice, it's not easy. That's a racing deal. You might look at that and say, oh, 27 come down on the 24, but it's so difficult to see how much space you really have here. And it's nighttime, and these cars it's just tough. It's so tough. So to us, I think it's easy to make, that armchair analysis on what's happening on track, especially that we have the power of the replay. But inside of these cars, especially here tonight, the pressure is already amped up. It's Bristol night race. It's just anything can happen.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here on the IWM Broadcast Network.
You'll love the exceptional service you get at Lindsay's Carpet and Paint, and our selection will truly wow you. Transform your home with hardwoods and laminates in every color, finish, and style you can imagine. When it comes to carpet selection, no one comes close to the variety we offer. And don't forget the walls. Liven them up with quality Benjamin Moore and Pittsburgh paint.
Professional staff and great selection at Lindsay's Carpet and Paint.
All right, we're just about to go back to green flag racing here. Oh, a few paints popping in and out.
These pace laps going to feel like an eternity for these leaders who've had some great jumps here tonight. Wenzel been really fast. Let's see if he can do it again. Green flag is out, and away we go. And there goes Jordan Wenzel on the high side, carrying a ton of speed. Has a couple of car lanes out now between himself there and the 25, Jacob Massow.
Oh, contact with the wall for the 43 of Garrett Walden. 99 is trapped up on the outside. That's Tyler Lem. Yeah, we debated, Sal, whether that outside line was going to be the way to go. Just ride it up high and call it a day. But not quite sure that's going to work. I'm not sure the track is rubbered in enough for that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a late race deal, but it looks like Lem is stuck out there right now. He doesn't want to give that spot up, but he's certainly looking for an opportunity to get back down in line. The 43, that's Garrett Walden closing in behind the 24, Matthew Parasini as well. So it'll be tough for that bottom line, that 99 of Tyler Lem, to really find a place. Hopefully here as the laps tick away, we see a little bit of moving and shaking, and these guys can figure it out.
Yellow's back out.
Oh, yeah.
See the 12 and the 17 have gone around. 12 is Eric Jeffers, also involved in that. Not sure exactly what happened. We'll cover that real quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it just gets away. Car just gets away from him, and then trying to accelerate out of that corner, just can't hold on to it. Just comes down the track. That's one of those tough situations where you don't want to be out of it, but it's rough there when it doesn't work out and you end up taking out another one of your competitors, but that's racing. Doesn't look like either of them had a ton of damage, so
nope, just a little pride hurt, and we'll pick it back up. Now, we do have a stage break here. The stage break is at 83, so we're working our way towards that break, 1/3 of the way through. We'll bring up that stage break information on the screen as soon as it allows us to. A few drivers making their way onto pit road. That's Eric Jeffers, Austin Walton, Corey Ennis is also on pit road. Pit road seems like an eternity for these guys.
Yeah, they got to go all the way around here at 35 miles an hour. It feels like an eternity for sure. Worth the wait though to get a fresh set on. If you're feeling loose, if you're feeling like you need a little confidence boost, a fresh set of tires here at Bristol can certainly provide that.
All right, Jordan Wenzel has lane choice, and you saw it just like last time. He chose that top line. That worked out pretty well. And with a short track like Bristol, the advantage the leader gets setting and starting this event is, you know, each and every restart is just huge. I mean, you're guaranteeing yourself at least four or five car lengths.
Absolutely, and it's such a challenge. And if, for those who are watching at home, it's not as simple as, you know, why doesn't the 25 of Musa just put his foot down and try to challenge? But, you know, these drivers have to be extremely careful about if and when they pass the leader. Oh, is that a car going around under caution? Yeah, we got one spun there on the middle of the backstretch.
70 going backwards.
Well, they're going to go green anyway, it looks like.
Yep.
Oh, and then they throw the caution. It looks like.
Okay.
So, looks like they just didn't have enough time to delay the caution. They just threw another one after they went green. But what a weird sequence of events there. They'll get a couple more pace laps in here, warm up the tires. I don't know. Something
warming
happened
up or
there on the
cooling
back
down.
stretch.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So with the weather here, it's as you can tell, we've already transitioned into a night race here. It is now, track temp is now 79, so it has fallen since qualifying and will continue to fall. It'll just get cooler here.
This is when the real speed comes out to play, when the track gets cool, the asphalt or the concrete gets cold, and these cars can really start to put down some speed as they dig into the run. We got to get some green flag action here to get the runs going and the track rubbered in. But once we do, I mean, like you said earlier, Rick, that top line should be in a factor at some point as well. And this track should get slippery as the rubber goes down, but we'll get that toward the end of this one as things continue on here tonight.
Well, thank you for tuning in tonight to our event. We certainly appreciate those of you who are watching. If you get the opportunity to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, we certainly appreciate those of you who are part of the IWM broadcast family, and encourage you to jump in if you can. And we'll try to bring you each and every week these events. And in our season, Sal is winding down. There's just is it 7 or 8 more events, and then the season's over?
Yeah, it's going as quickly as it came up on us, and these races have been just nonstop action every single week. But it's crazy to think that we're already in the closing stages of the season, and we're talking about championship runs and cutoff races and playoff rounds and all of it. So always exciting, and these guys make it feel like it flies by. You know, it's time flies when you're having fun, and that's what we're having over here on the IWM network and the iNRS racing series here on Thursday nights.
All right, lights are off on our pace car. Jordan Wenzel in charge of the restart.
See if they can keep it straight. Everybody's nose is pointed the right direction here.
Here we go, back to green flag racing. Jordan Wenzel out in front, drops down to that lower line. Tyrell Lem, we're watching him. He looks like he's learned his lesson. He's fallen. Nope, I take that right back. Oh, when he loses it.
He goes into the wall.
He saves it. No yellow comes out, but we're 3 wide in the back.
Yeah, that's wild. Lem just getting a little bit knocked out of shape there by Pericini. The 99 going up into the wall, has to gather it up. That is a scary moment. Was going 3 wide there, trying to keep himself at least in a competitive position, not to end up falling all the way back to the back of the field or cause another incident that could have brought out another caution. So good on him for holding it down and getting up on that wheel when he needed to. But that's a tough deal for the 99 of Tyler Lem. Looked like he was just going to shuffle his way into line there at the front. He was running for that 3rd position at the time, and just at the wrong place at the wrong time as the 24 dove down to the bottom to try to take that position away. That's Pericini now running in 3rd with Jacob Musau in 2nd still, and Jordan Wenzel in the 81 out in the lead.
That's John Ledger finding himself in the 19 on the outside there. He's got the, I think that's the Austin Wheeler that's up right there underneath him. And the 69 of Christopher Cash also. 19 falling back just a little bit.
Yeah, curious to see how long the 19 can kind of stay on that top line. Looks like he'll get the opportunity now to kind of shuffle down and run that inside line, just like the cars in front of him. But curious to see how long it takes for that top line to become a competitive place to be. As, somebody's getting up there in the wall. Big puff of smoke.
That's Christopher Cash. Oh, right, they're wrecking. He's going around. Caution has not come out. Oh, it's going to come out now.
Oh, and it's going to collect quite a few. Not quite a big one, but big enough to make a difference. The 88, the 69, quite a few.
Richard Mills, Ron Fitting, Christopher Cash all caught up in this as the leaders make their way back around. You can see the way that car is reacting to the apron here. It is significant. The angle from the apron around the bottom of the track to the racing surface, it is not your friend.
Yeah, no, like you said earlier tonight, Rick, you just got to let it roll down the bank and get to the apron and just get yourself back straight. The apron here just as dangerous, though, as you can be on track. You clip that apron just a scrooch and you are going for a spin there. So how low can you go? It's a dangerous game trying to shave just fractions of seconds off these lap times to get an edge.
Backed up a little bit. So we saw that there was a little bit of contact there, maybe just maybe more of an iRacing incident there. Well, maybe a little bit of contact right there with 43. Upsets the 69, and that takes him, but he's coming out of the corner, which saves him. Then, of course, there's a little bit of contact with the wall.
It looked like he had it pretty gathered up there for a minute.
Yeah, that looked all good. But then the 28.
Oh, and another incident. Oh, I'll tell you what, Christopher Cash can't play the lottery tonight. He's only got one type of luck there. That's unreal. The 17 and the 28, unrelated to the incident having just happened with Christopher Cash, get into one another, and he's collected.
Yep, 17 taps the right rear of the 28, unfortunately, sending him right into the 69.
Oh, that's tough. After he thought he got away, getting tagged as an innocent bystander here. The 3 almost gets caught up too.
Oh yeah, right. Oh well, I
might
thought
have avoided it.
But the 88 has no luck.
Can't escape down there as a 69. Nope. And then the 3 gets caught up after. Yep. What a sequence of events there. That's wild.
Well, yep, things happen. All right, already our 5th caution of the night here, lap 44. A little early for a little of this drama, but they'll work it out. Unfortunately, the 3 is got a meatball flag, which means he has got some significant damage on that Toyota. He's going to be in the pits for potentially an extended period of time. But he's not there without company. The 28 of Joe Musso and the 69 of Christopher Cash, both in there making repairs.
Yeah, and these green flag pit stops or pit stops that have an extended wait time, they're going to kill you, and you're going to end up going down laps here in a real hurry, and it's always tough to come back. Cautions are your friend if you're coming out of the pit and you're down laps, but we'll see how long we can get a green flag run going for here. Jordan Wenzel, Jacob Musow. Wenzel taking the green and back out to the lead. Lap 45 of 250 here tonight from Bristol.
Solid jump. He's got Austin Wheeler right behind him. Jacob Musow slides back to third. Looking back to the field, though, there's a lot going on back here. As we're still too wide at the tail end of the field. You see the 70 of Billy Smith going to work his way back up.
That 70 car still trying to figure it out. I think saw him in practice a little bit, trying to get his way around that wheel, and then was spun on the backstretch there, caused a caution earlier, but he looks like he's in a little bit of a better place now. He's running some quick lap times here, getting into a little bit of a rhythm. Something else that these drivers have to get accustomed to, you know, outside of all the factors of Bristol and the new car update. Getting into that rhythm, that muscle memory as they make lap time here is super, super crucial. It's going to end up being their best friend if they can stay consistent here throughout the night.
Well, with 15-second lap times, you know, there's not a lot of time that you're not going in and turning that wheel. So there's very little straightaway time. You've really got to keep that, as you said, that muscle memory in place. You've got to know when to be on the throttle, off the throttle, in the turn, out of the turn. A lot going on, and you got to do it 250 times.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. This is one of those races, you know, maybe you throw the headband on, you know, there's a lot of sweat that you could go through tonight, especially some of these drivers. They use some pretty high-end sim equipment. Your arms, you're going to be working by the end of the night. So, you know, fatigue, not something you think about in an iRacing event, but absolutely something that can come into play for these drivers as they sit behind the screen at home on their rigs, doing their thing here for such a long race where every, you know, 5 or 6 seconds you're staring down, getting into a corner and making it work. So not easy at all. That 22 car, Ty Bostic, looking to make a pass there on Billy Smith, as we were talking about them earlier. These two kind of trying to figure it out as Bostic goes to the bottom here. He's going to take a little bit off the 70. Two of them, I think they're the only two cars racing side by side right now. Ty Bostic not going to want to give that bottom line up. He knows that if the 70 ends up having to run that top line for an extended period, he might have a little bit of an edge, but now it's up to Billy Smith to find speed on the top. We've talked about that as the night's gone on, and he does, and he's clear of the 22.
Yeah, earlier there was a little bit of side-by-side action with the 97 of Jeff Ramsdell and the 42 of Tony Japs. There was a bit of a battle going on, but, you know, it's incremental. This is, you know, with this car, it's hard to pass.
Yeah, we've seen that in the real world and in these races here in the iNRS series this year. It's these short tracks, the way these cars, the aero is set up, it's like a brick wall sometimes and not as aero dependent around each other. Ooh, as we see that was the 97 of Jeff Ramsdell take a big wiggle there off the exit of that corner. He's going to lose one spot, maybe two. Ty Bostic coming up, Billy Smith already around. Something to be mindful of is, you know, these green flag run continues. Yeah,
he's still loose. He has not got that car to settle down, and that's one thing you can, you know, we've got 59 laps on these tires. You know, that is one thing you've got to take into consideration. The fall off, you know, is, so we started the best lap was around just under 15 seconds. We're now about a half second more or so. So we've had some fall off, but you've got to be prepared.
Yeah, the fall off comes up and bites you really, really quickly, especially as green flag runs continue. Looks like the 42 a little slow there for a moment. Oh, as the 17 around Austin Walton. Talk about getting tight. He loses it there on the exit of turn number 2 and slides up. Back into that car, smacks the wall. Hopefully not too much damage, but brings out the caution.
Well, he had a little help.
Oh, yeah, got a little help. Yeah, I didn't see that. That's the 36.
96 of
96.
Mike Wheel. Whoops.
Whoops, indeed. Looks like he was just trying to check up to make the corner, and the 96 was coming with a full head of steam, not realizing how close he was closing in on him. That's one of the things about this track. We talked about it earlier. It is tough to get that perspective from behind the wheel. You know, we look and we see, oh, you make a judgment call on something, but really, really difficult being out there behind the wheel here tonight. Like for just a minute there, people were looking at thinking maybe drivers thinking about coming to pit road here. Maybe a couple takers.
Couple takers, yeah.
Can't blame them.
Nope. Again, you've got 20 laps away from the stage break. You can make it on fuel for sure. Question is, are you getting the grip you need?
Yeah, absolutely, and taking a set of tires under caution definitely better than if the run goes on here and things do stay green for an extended period. Then you really end up up a creek without a paddle, which is going to be rough if that is the way that this all unfolds. But getting those tires now can definitely go a long way and allow you to continue on a run. But we'll see what happens here as drivers utilizing all different types of strategies.
Well, especially with the fact that you've got, stage points will carry over into the playoffs. Those numbers, they can carry through those to the next round of playoffs. So every point, every position matters.
Absolutely. Whether they're setting themselves up for this stage win or maybe to flip the stage to get themselves on better footing for the next shot around. Always something that comes into factor when chasing a championship.
Well, the lights are off on the pace car, which means we'll be going back to green flag racing next time by. Jordan Wenzel is in charge of the restart. So, again, he's had lots of practice tonight with our 6th caution.
Yeah, he's been really good on that top side. I mean, he's in control up there, able to get the jumps that we've seen him get. I wouldn't expect anything different here tonight. And barring him making any kind of slip up or mistake, I think you're going to see a lot of the same from that 81 car as they go back green here.
I know we're talking about not being able to pass as we get back underway green here, but the 48 is up 18 positions up to 2nd place. So he has got, he made it work.
Absolutely. A big mover, Austin Wheeler, and he's able not just to get those spots, but hang at the front with these guys, with these playoff drivers. Just really good on him for taking advantage of some opportunities here and being able to make his way through the field. I know we've had a lot of cautions. Those are always opportunities to kind of change your strategy and be able to stick it out and be a part of the front of the pack here. And as he gets into the wall there, a little bit of a whack exiting turn 4, but doesn't look like he did too much damage. He's going to chase down the 81, Jordan Wenzel there, maybe give him a little bit of a run for his money.
Well, the 48 of Austin Wheeler, he has won. There's 3 races in each of these playoff rounds. He's won race 1 and race 2, so he's looking for the trifecta.
Yeah, that would be something to go for the hat trick here in the first round of the playoffs. It would be a huge accomplishment for Wheeler. That's more than a feather in your cap in this series with this level of competition to say you won all 3 in the first round. We'd sure talk about confidence of winning 1 race, but 3 in a row, my goodness. Guy's going to feel like he's unstoppable after tonight if he ends up at victory lane.
Well, side-by-side action going on just behind these drivers. The 22 of Ty Boston with the 42 of Tony Japs here battling for 6th spot.
Well, these are good battles all the way throughout the field. These guys being very respectful of each other, though, making sure that the battles are worth fighting. That's one of the main themes here at the last Great Coliseum. These drivers, gladiators, put their helmets on, and it's all about what's underneath the helmet, too, between the ears, being smart about when to pick and choose what you want to do here and try to capitalize as we see these battles continue. Tyler Lem trying to mark his way back through the field. He was running at the front there until that incident a little earlier. He and Parasini getting into it a little bit. The 88, too, a driver here tonight who just unfortunately has had a string of bad luck getting caught up in a couple of cautions, but it's always early. It's early enough. Richard Mills, Tyler Lem, there's plenty of time. There's lots that can still happen here for these guys as they run maybe outside of the run at 17th and 16th and 17th respectively.
But still,
to make up that progress.
They're still on the lead lap. They're at the tail end of the lead lap, these drivers here. So they're about straight away in a corner away from the front. But going around the 19, it's John Ledger.
That's a big hit for John Ledger on that inside wall. That
and
car
Corey Ennis as well also got damage, but the 19 took the brunt of it.
I don't see the meatball up next to his name on the stat tracker there on the left, but sure looks like that left side, the left side of that car is not driving in a comfortable way for Tyler Lem right now. Or, I'm sorry, the 19 of...
Oh, he's got some damage.
Yeah, he's got some damage. You see the way the car's kind of crab walking around. Yeah, that's John Ledger. We'll see what happened here. Yeah,
Nope.
just gets loose.
And unfortunately collects the 27. Just spun out. 27 was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, just trying to, just trying to push it and get a little speed off the corner. It's like standing in the center of a seesaw. It's a tough balance to strike here at Bristol, especially in these cars. Again, this latest update has made these cars, very different to drive and very different from what these drivers have been used to all season long. So a little bit of a learning exercise. I'm not super surprised to see it happen, but it's unfortunate every time it does.
Well, with just 5 laps to go before this stage is done, the caution will fly at the stage break. And I think John the Ledger and the 19's figuring, you know what, I can work it out. I'll go in at the end and at that point just see what kind of damage I'm dealing with.
Yeah, it's a smart play just to take what he can get out of the stage. It might be all he gets tonight in terms of stage points, and just being able to collect anything he can. That's a very smart heads-up play by Tyler Lem there, and he plays into that strategy, that cutoff strategy. That 1 or 2 points might go a long way here after things are all said and done tonight.
All right, lights are off on the pace car as we're about to get the Lindsay's Carpet and Paint 250 back underway. We'll get the restart here at the beginning of lap 80 and just 3 laps to go before this stage will be complete.
Yeah, these guys are going to be competing for every position, so it'll be interesting to see how aggressive they get here to race for some stage points, especially after all these cautions. Pace car's off. Wenzel and Wheeler on the front row. Wenzel way out with a big jump as we're back green here, ready to decide the stage at Bristol. That was an unbelievable jump there for Jordan Wenzel.
Solid.
I mean, just, yeah, totally in control of that. Wheeler looked like he spun him or was a little slow there on that bottom line. Or maybe Wenzel's just making him look slow for how quick he's been. But interesting to see if he can get up to the back of Jordan Wenzel and make a challenge. You see
43.
Jacob Mostow competing, pushing the 24. Parasini pretty hard too. Yeah, 43 too, Rick.
Just a couple laps to go. 43 trying to get as much position as he can on the 22 and possibly try to take that position away. Oh, a little bit of contact there.
Yeah, Bostic up into the wall there a little bit. I think just the pressure drives him up high. And oh, he's going to go around. Oh, no, the Ty Bostic, the 22, that's big impact on that inside wall. He was riding it a little up high there as he was competing with the 43 and just loses it, noses into that inside wall. That's a big hit.
Yep, and that will actually bring out the caution at the stage. The stage is complete, just on time, but unfortunately for the 22, he's got some major nose damage on that car. No meatball, but we'll see if there's any damage that he's got to deal with. Now again, this isn't like an aero track where you've got to have the car in perfect shape. Heck, you could run around here with a modified, you'd probably be fine.
We see that a little bit too. I mean, on my hold on, before I say something, he's coming down pit road. Sorry. Looked like there could have been some interesting strategy there as everybody's deciding what they're going to do, coming down pit road, staying in, staying out, repairing damage. It's going to be interesting. Like you said, too, like you could run a modified here and probably be okay. Body panels ripped to shreds. We've seen cars win here in all kinds of shapes. So we'll see. Hopefully everybody finishes in one piece.
If not, I would not be surprised.
I don't think I'd be surprised that much here tonight, especially after what we've seen,
Yep.
and it's only the first stage.
All right, busy time here on pit road as these drivers make their way all around to their pits.
Have to imagine everybody's going to grab 4 tires and some fresh fuel here. Regardless of the run, definitely want to be ready for whatever. I think they take, what, 75% fuel in this league here
That is
for the
correct,
iNRS
yep.
series? Yeah. So, not sure what that is in terms of laps per run, but keeps it interesting. I'm sure they'll have to keep that fuel mileage in mind at Bristol. Maybe not so much so as other tracks, but something to think about.
So it's 0.51. Let's just do some quick cipher in here.
Quick math. I took math 4 times, Rick. I'm not a math guy.
Hey,
so
that's
I'll leave that.
math 4. Yeah.
Hey, math 4. I can count
4
to 4.
times, yeah. So with 75% fuel, that gives you just a tank capacity of 13.5 gallons, right?
Okay.
They're not really running full speed here, so they can probably stretch out their MPG just a little farther, but still, they're going to get around an average of 5 miles per gallon. That gets you 67.5. The track is 0.51 miles. You assume that that's going to be divided by 0.51. That says they could get 130 laps on a tank of fuel, but it's not fuel that's the problem.
No, it's those tires that are going to get chewed up and be the thing that is going to keep guys at the front of this pack or be what sends them to the rear. As we're back under green here.
So Billy Smith is out in front. He pitted on lap 63. And
Wild strategy move on his part.
Yeah. I mean, he picked up 17 spots since the start of this race, so he's doing pretty well. Of course, he's got Jordan Wenzel on his tail, who has got full tank of fuel and 4 fresh Goodyear tires on that car, as well as Austin Wheeler right in behind. So there's a chance he could hang on for a while. Again, it is hard to pass, but hey, Wenzel's been a beast tonight.
Yeah, Billy Smith taking an aggressive pit strategy to try to get that track position, But now he's going to have to play defense on these guys, and I'm sure these leaders who are running around here at the front, Wenzel and Wheeler, not loving the fact that they're going to have to now battle with a new contender at the front, as Billy Smith looked like he was doing the old super speedway style racing there, blocking both lanes and trying to keep himself at the front. He finally is going to float up to the top here as Austin Wheeler gets around him. Jordan Wenzel going to look to do the same here in the next few laps as the pack is closing in. Old tires on Smith's car going to come into play here, and interesting to see how long he can hang up there before he starts going the wrong direction.
Good for Austin Wheeler, finds himself up at the front, a very familiar place these last couple of races.
Yeah, and he's going to end up driving away here if they don't do something soon with this 70 car soon. Wenzel can't quite seem. Yeah, he's there now, door to door on the back stretch, and look to make the move to get back to the leader. That's something else here, Rick, too. We haven't really had a lot of opportunity to talk about.
27, Corianis in the wall, but he's keeping it pointed in the right direction, but he's got some damage on that race car.
Yeah, that's difficult for Ennis. Just loose in the wall. It's easy to get out of shape here, and good for him for collecting it up and not making it more of an issue than it is. That is something that'll come into play here, though, is lap traffic here is a big part of this race.
Sal. That 27 is definitely off the pace. He's got some damage. Trying to deal with it. That right front looks to be a bit bent out of shape.
He's in the wall here again. That's tough. Yeah, not sure how long they're going to let him cruise around here off the pace by as much as he is. Important to get the laps in, log the laps, get the points, stay out on track, try to stay on this lead lap, but looks like everything working against him is.
Yep. He's about 3 seconds per lap off the pace, so that's going to catch up.
Oh, the 70 now sliding across the start-finish line. He's up in the wall. Oh, tags the 42 as well.
Caution did not come out.
Wow.
Everybody's trying to avoid him. He's still spinning. Caution comes out. He stopped on the track. He's going the wrong way. He's back up into it and collects the 43.
What?
Yeah.
What in the world? Yeah, that's a tough situation for those cars who had to come around to try to get through the 70 and whatever he was doing. 70 showing a little displeasure there maybe with the 43. That's uncharacteristic of drivers in this league, but I don't know how much longer that 70 car is going to be able to hold on to it with all that damage. It looks like he's going to come down pit road.
Looking at the leaders as they are slowing their pace down, waiting for the pace car to catch up. Could fall in line behind the pace car. Well, here we are, 9th caution, 102 laps in the books. A little bit of drama.
A little bit. Little bit. It was a bold strategy by Billy Smith to stay out, and didn't look like he wanted to give up too much, though, even on those older tires, and causes a little bit of a commotion there with under that yellow flag. Brings it out, and then interesting strategy to stop on the track there, cause a caution. But yeah, drivers at the front here, though. Austin Wheeler, Jordan Wenzel, Jacob Musow, Matthew Parasini. The top 4 looks familiar because they've been up here most of the night. One of the new contenders, though, in the top 5 is Mike Wheel. We talked about Mike Wheel a little earlier, had gotten into a little bit of a scrape. As a lot of drivers are going to get into scrapes here tonight, but able to get a good run going here. Gets himself on some four fresh Goodyear tires and is running inside the top 5. 99 of Tyler Lem now back in the picture as well in the 6th position. So an up and down night for some of these drivers, an up and up night for some of these drivers too, and some of them just probably can't wait to get it back on the truck.
Yep, absolutely. All right, 104 laps in the books. Under caution now as pace car guides this field around. We go back to green next time by. Number of drivers out. DeRutris, Fitting, and there's one more. I think Christopher Cash is out as well. Of course, he's just still sitting in the pit. Yep. All right, green flag. We're back to racing here. Nope, our caution's back out. Why? I don't know.
Sounds like there was a little bit of passing happening there before they got back to the line. Maybe the officials there not liking the restart. So they're gonna, might be a black flag penalty to be served here too. Not sure, as we see some cars coming down pit road.
Looking at the tail end of the lead lap here, looks like the field really was not gridded up completely at the time.
Everybody kind of strung out toward the rear here.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's part of the reason, is a couple of drive-throughs happening now and getting things taken care of.
All right. Well, we'll take a break for a second, get this restart back figured out. A lot of interesting things happening on the track here. But from what we can tell, it looks to be like that this yellow flag is brought out by the fact that the field was not ready to go back, and that's one of the challenges you do face here at Bristol. These laps go around relatively quickly here, and you've got to be ready to go, and field needs to be formed back up before that green flag flew.
Yeah, not easy, especially as the spotters are hollering in your ear. iRacing spotters hollering in your ear, let this one by, get behind this one. You have to be over here, you have to be over there. And it's in such a short period of time getting through the pace laps here. This track is so small. It's easy to get confused, and it's easy for iRacing to even make some mistakes on where certain drivers should be. You think, okay, well, yeah, just get in line. It's easy. They tell you where to go, but there's a lot happening in the earpiece of these drivers as they're trying to figure it all out and get ready to go back racing.
All right, lights are back off. Let's do this one more time. Well, we could do it more than one more time, but
We're definitely going to do it more than one more time.
just optimistic.
Speaking it into existence, Rick. I like it.
Try it.
Well, it's the usual suspects at the front still, though. Wheeler and Wenzel. There we go. Wheeler and Wenzel, Jacob Musow, Matthew Parasini, Richard Mills, Mike Wheel, John Ledger, Vince Burns, Tyler Lemon, Garrett Walden, the top 10 as they come back to green here at Bristol. Wheeler with a big jump on the restart. Wenzel going to go door to door with the 25 of Musow as well. They're going to figure it out as this field gets back rolling here. You know, seeing Richard Mills and Mike Wheel back up here in this front pack here is astonishing, considering the fact that they had been mired back and they had gotten caught in incidents really early on. We've had a number of cautions here, and it just goes to show that, you know, there's an aspect of never quitting and never giving up at Bristol, especially the type of racing that this is, where you can scratch and claw and fight your way back into a position to be competitive, not just for points, but for a win here tonight.
Looking back through the field, there's Tyler Lem back there sitting in the 8th position. Vince Burns right behind him in the 55. Then further on back, you got Garrett Walden. That's Ty Bosick there trying to recover from getting caught up in that earlier incident. Make his way around the 43, or attempting to anyways. 43 up high in the wall.
Yeah, 43 trying to use up as much of the track as he could. Uses up more than's there, it feels like. Maybe he's having some, looks like he's having some trouble with that car too. There's some damage from a previous incident, and whacking the wall again isn't going to help too much, but I'm sure that car is a handful for him trying to get around the track here, just logging the laps and collecting the points, as many as he can.
Looking back up front, Austin Wheeler continues to lead. Jordan Wenzel not too far behind as they work their way around this track. As this field stretches out a bit, we're going to see potentially, with just a couple of corners to go here, that these leaders are going to catch up to the rest of the field.
Yeah, and this is going to be part of that, you know, part of that racing that happens at Bristol. Lap cars can cause a lot of different things to happen. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's always going to play into the run here as things continue to go green under the lights at Bristol Motor Speedway. And you got to remember, these cars, you know, they might not want to give up a spot right away. There's points on the line. They need to race their own race too here tonight. So we'll see just how much of a factor those lap cars become, as Austin Wheeler just really, you know, putting it on the field now, over a half a second out ahead of the 81 of Jordan Wenzel for that lead. Cruising around lap cars. Going to come up on the 43 or 43 again. Someone we talked about had a little bit of trouble. Stays to the high side, giving room. But it's opportunities like that that'll allow the 81 Jordan Wenzel to close that gap up a little bit better, getting 2/10 back that lap just because of that little bit of a checkup that Wheeler had to do to get through lap traffic. So if the guys behind Wheeler can keep it consistent and keep that speed up, they can make some time back here on the leader.
Solid run by the 81 and the 48 as they work their way through traffic, getting around the 12. Who was involved in an earlier incident. You say getting getting around the 12, but that's Eric Jeffers. He's still in 14th position. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not like these guys are way back in the back of the pack here. They're still very much battling for their own situations as this race goes on. We've got a couple of cars here close together. The 88, the 96, the 43, the 70, the 17, 43 back up in the wall just a little bit there. I mean, there's lots happening all around the track. You could have thrown a blanket over those guys there for a second as they were all trying to get themselves sorted out here. That's Smith rating off.
Yeah, 3 wide. You've got a lot of a mix of lap down cars and on the lead lap. So see the 70 of Billy Smith. He's the first car a lap down. He got the chance to get his lap back.
Yeah,
he is one lap down.
He'll be in that position. He'll be in that lucky dog position if another caution comes out or at the end of the stage here.
As long as he doesn't cause the caution.
That's going to be the key. That's going to be the key, Rick. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how this one works out. We got 2 and 3 wide situations happening all over. It don't take much to slip up and cause an issue.
A little bit contact to the 96.
Yeah. Wheel and Smith there getting into it a little bit as Smith undercut him, trying to get that position back. Wheel not going to give it up, though. He looks like he's gaining ground up there on that top line.
Yeah, he's working that top line pretty well here.
He's going to get out. He's going to clear the 88. That's pretty good. Clearing Richard Mills.
Yeah, seeing just kind of looking up the track, he kind of lost a lot there, but there's a lot of rubber now showing up at that highlight. I'm not sure just how much of that is rubber or marbles, but there's definitely something going on.
Yeah, enough to start noticing, that's for sure, especially the way these cars are acting and the way that they're able to drive up on that top line. I think Mike Wheel is showing us that right now in the position that he's able to run. A little bit too high, though, and yes, you are in the marbles, up way at the top. What looks like a shadow against the wall is probably too high in the corner, and that can cause a little bit of a slip. And it's not hard to do here as you're searching for speed all around the track, trying to make a move, especially how tight these guys are running here in this part of the pack right now. Everybody trying different things, though. You see Tyler Lem doing the same thing, just searching for it all over. He's going to get a little bit. Wheel comes up, throws the block on him. They're going to trade places. Lem going to have to go down to the bottom of there this time. Every position matters. 99, though, looks like he's comfortable running wherever he can. I think we've got a caution out here.
Jordan Wenzel involved. So we're back in we're watching the back of the pack and not sure just what happened to the 81, but through the power of the replay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. There's a lot of left side damage there. Oh no.
42.
Yeah, 42. The Tony Japs. That's a lap car. They're just not hanging it up as high as he needs to give the 81 all the room he could have as he tries to scrooch by him there and just drifts down and tags him. That's a really rough deal for a guy who's at the front of this field all night long for Jordan Wenzel. Going to give other drivers a chance to come to pit road, though. Jordan Wenzel might be one of them. Didn't look like the damage was awful. Definitely some damage, but could have been a lot worse for that 81 car. He'll be no worse for wear, hopefully, as they looks like it's just some paint scraped off the front of the nose there. Nothing too caved in yet.
Good chance to take a breath, get some fresh Goodyear tires, and get back out there.
Absolutely. Interesting to see here if drivers opt for some interesting pit strategy calls. I don't know. If it's me behind the wheel, I'm getting foreign fuel every single time, keeping it consistent. I mean, just we've had enough entertainment on track here tonight so far to fill up a couple of races. So I feel like there's some consistency these drivers want to have, and they can at least find it on pit road.
Well, we've made it past the halfway point here, Sal. It's 138 laps in the books. That was our 11th caution, so we've gone into double digits on the caution side.
Yeah, it's halfway. How many did you say, Rick? 11?
11.
11 cautions at the half. We'll see how many more we can hopefully avoid anymore, but we'll see if there are more. It's a tough place to avoid yellow flags. Barney the flagman, his arm is going to be tired by the end of the night here.
Quite sore.
Yeah.
He's looking for some Bengay.
Yeah, he skipped the workout today. Awful pit road, though. Wheeler and Jacob Musal up there now can assist to that first row. It's Matthew Parasini on the inside and third with Mike Wheel on the outside. Fifth place, that's the 19 of John Ledger. So everybody kind of getting reshuffled through. Some new players up here at the front.
Billy Smith got his lap back. He starts at the tail end of the lead lap with now Jeff Ramsdale in the lucky dog position. You know, that was a good jump, but even a better jump for the 25 of Jacob Musso. He did not let the 48 get too far ahead.
Yeah, he was able to kind of race up tight to him there as the 48. You know the 48's going to try to get that jump and come down. The 25 tried to make it difficult for him, took a little bit of that speed away from him, that ability to get out. Smart move by the 25 of Jacob Musau to have that heads-up awareness on the restart and give himself a chance to at least build back. But Austin Wheeler, a couple of car lengths out in front, regardless.
Looking back through the field real quick, you see the 81 of Jordan Wenzel finds himself back in ninth. He's got to make his way up through a couple cars battling. That's the 88 of Richard Mills and the 55 of Vince Burns.
I'll tell you what, if there's anybody who can find speed at a short track like this, it is that 81 of Jordan Wenzel. He's proven time and time again throughout the season this year that that car holds a ton of speed and he's got a ton of talent behind the wheel. Interesting to see how he makes it happen, though. We know these cars have a hard time passing, but we'll see what he's got up his sleeve here. He's got plenty of time, half the race still here to go, to march his way back into a position to win this one.
Watching from the inside of the 81 here as he tries to work his way back up. You can tell he's got a good car. He's a great driver, but it's still hard to pass.
Yeah, you can't do what you can't do, and if the car isn't going to let you do it, it's going to be tough to get done. A lot of words to say, almost nothing at all there, Rick. But it's it's very much so the reality for Jordan Wenzel. What can he get done here with what he's got in his hands? He looks to the top side there, trying to just figure a way to get a little bit on that 55 in front of him. That's Vince Burns racing a good race here tonight, up in the top 10.
Well, one thing he does have on his side is there is a lot of time left here, coming up with still over 100 laps here at Bristol, although they do tend to go by pretty quickly. But there's plenty of time to work your way back up through traffic. Cautions will come out, so trying to figure out his strategy. So.
I feel like the move here for Wenzel and for other drivers in a position like this is just to really manage your run. Save your tires as much as you can. You don't need to be over aggressive. You don't need to chew them up and lose traction out here so early in a fresh run after just coming to pit road. Really manage that run and be there for the long haul. And drivers who aren't as patient, they'll end up in front of them at some point here tonight.
Taking a peek back up at the leaders, Austin Wheeler continues to lead here. He's got a pretty good gap over almost a full second over Jacob Musau there and Matt Persini and Mike Wheel. John Ledger continues to hold it together after that earlier incident. We're kind of wondering about the handling on that car, but he is one of the driving wounded making their way around.
Yeah, it looks like that car's got a little bit of a black eye, but comfortable enough for Ledger to wheel it around through the corner. He looks pretty comfortable, sailing it off pretty smooth there. You know, him being able to hold off Tyler Lem, it's a big task for a car that's got a little bit of damage. So good to see him back feeling competitive in that car tonight.
Back through the field, you see the 55 of Vince Burns. He's got a bit of a gap now between the 88 and himself, where you can see the 81 finally finds a way to get around the 88.
It took a long time to set that move up. It's just the nature of the racing here, as the 88 does give him plenty of room to make that pass, knowing that he's a little bit off from what the 81 of Jordan Wenzel can get done.
Yeah, the last time by the 88 was just off maybe a couple tenths versus the time that the 81 is putting up. So let him go, and Jordan Wenzel's on the hunt. He's trying to track down that 55 of Vince Burns.
And there's a battle happening back here too for the 11th, between 11th, 12th, and 13th as well. These are the cars. Looks like they're the closest to making something happen. That 17 of Austin Walton just keeps giving a little peek down to the inside of the 70 of Billy Smith. Not sure, again, we saw this with Jordan Wenzel. It takes a long time to set these passes up and put yourself in a place just to get that little bit of arrow off the right rear of one of your competitors here and slow them up enough to make a move happen. So interesting to see how long this one will go on for, as the 28 as well.
Yeah, so it's not so much for position, because Billy Smith there he's sitting in 11th. Jeff Ramsdell is in 12th in the 97, but Austin Walton is sitting in 13th in the 17. The 28 of Joe Musau is back in 19th, so it's a kind of a battle of the lap down cars over here. But it's fun to watch. Yeah, fun to watch any battle happening. So.
Yeah, they make it exciting. They make things happen here, as the lap cars are going to play a factor for sure. So just where they play a factor into who is going to be what matters.
That's right. So Billy Smith is the last car in the lead lap. Jeff Ramsdell is 3 laps down, so he'll need a few cautions. We'll go leave it at that. So. But back in front, Austin Wheeler is out in front, and he's about to run up on the 42 of Tony Japs. That 42 has seen a lot of action tonight.
Yeah, been on the wrong side of a few situations here tonight. Tony Japs does a lot of great work for the iNRS league here, and being broadcast on the IWM network. It's great, but hear him talking on the radio, letting Wheeler know he was going to stay low there. You know, it's always nice when you get a group of respectful racers here together and understanding that this guy tonight is the one to beat Austin Wheeler after, you know, what was a lot of cautions early. He's definitely out there putting the pedal down.
All right, next on that hit parade is the 97. That is Jeff Ramsdell.
Yeah, it's business as usual there for Austin Wheeler, as he just continues to extend that gap. He's now 2 seconds out ahead of the 25 of Jacob Musau.
So they pitted last on lap 136. It's possible through our calculations that he has got enough fuel to make it all the way to the end here. But, you know, do you want to? If those tires, will the tires hold out? I don't know.
Yeah, we've got some lap traffic in front of the 19 and the 55 here that's been affecting things. That's John Ledger, who back up in 7th place. He ends up giving that spot to the 55 after there was a little bit of battling between he and the 43 and the 27 there. Those two cars, lap cars, holding it down on their own, trying to get some position. But this is a tight group here.
Yeah, so Vince Burns and John Ledger, that's the 55 and the 19. Respectfully, they're trying to chase down the 99 of Tyler Lem as they work their way through, again, some lapped out traffic.
And it's not easy. Everyone out here has something to fight for, has something to race for, and it's going to add that next layer of competitiveness, especially for Tyler Lem here in that 19, or I'm sorry, John Ledger in that 19 car, already a little bit wounded. So just trying to make sure it doesn't get any more wounded than that, but also make his way around the track here also. But look who's behind him, Rick. That's the 81 of Jordan Wenzel. Came out of nowhere like a full head of steam. He's coming up with a he's coming up with a vengeance, trying to get back to the front.
Hear the theme from Jaws playing in the background.
He's going to look to make up as many spots as he can, as much time as he can. You know, this run going green longer than maybe these drivers are used to here tonight. And it's going to allow them to settle in and really drive a strategy that they want to. But that 81 always quick as he tries to make up some time back to the leader after getting spun out a little bit there by the lap car earlier in this race.
Let's not forget the 48 of Austin Wheeler as we look at highlights around the track, but Austin continues to hold on to that. Now his lead over Jacob Musso is nearly 2 seconds as he cuts his way through traffic, passing the 88 there. We're trying to get around the 88.
Yeah, it looks like the 43 is going to be the pick here for the 48 to get around the 88 here. Probably not on purpose, but opportune moment for the 48 of Austin Wheeler to make that pass happen. There's now only 9 cars on the lead lap as Austin Wheeler comes around and passes that 88. I'm sorry, 10 cars on the lead lap.
Well, but number 10's right there in front of him. That's Billy Smith. He is the last car on the lead lap, and he's got the leader in his rear view.
And some nights you just have it figured out and you get into that mode and the tunnel vision sets in. And I think that's exactly what's happening with Austin Wheeler here right now behind the wheel.
'70 scoots out there below, but unfortunately wasn't enough. Looking at lap times, you know, the 48 has just been turning some really successful laps here. Oh, the 42 is used as a pick again.
Yeah, these drivers trying to get smart with how they're managing the lap cars in front of them. And there's some battles happening just to get around this track, much less make up time. I mean, looks like the 25 got caught up there. He's going to lose a little bit of time battling with the 17. 42 of Japs just pulls right on down to the apron, but some battles all over the place as they're trying to make things work and everybody trying to play nice. You hear some chatter on the radio between these drivers, and the frustration is definitely setting in. Hasn't quite boiled over yet, but, you know, if there's any indication for what could be of things to come potentially, and a lot of fire, not just out of the pipes here as we continue on lap 185 here at Bristol tonight.
Yep, just 65 laps to go as this race continues to wind down here in the Lindsay's Carpet and Paint 250. We're going to take another quick commercial break. We'll go side by side. You won't miss a thing. We will be right back.
You'll love the exceptional service you get at Lindsay's Carpet and Paint, and our selection will truly wow you. Transform your home with hardwoods and laminates in every color, finish, and style you can imagine. When it comes to carpet selection, no one comes close to the variety we offer. And don't forget the walls. Liven them up with quality Benjamin Moore and Pittsburgh paint.
Professional staff and great selection at Lindsay's Carpet and Paint.
All right, sorry for that. There was no side-by-side. We'll get that corrected. Gotta love it.
Yeah, it's a little technical glitch, you know. Things are glitchy out there on track. Yeah. Shouldn't be any different in the booth either. A lot of beating and banging. Maybe that's the reason things aren't quite the way we need them to be, but hopefully not too much missed here as we're keeping an eye on some of these drivers. That 48 Austin Wheeler still, you know, business as usual.
Yeah, but
Not
now
quite
he's
2 seconds ahead, but he's got some lap traffic.
Yeah, but now he's picking off cars on the lead lap. He just took down the 22, and now he's got the 81 in front of him. He's not trying to put the Jordan Wenzel a lap down.
Yeah, we talked about Jordan Wenzel coming back to race for the lead, and the leader now in his mirror. Austin Wheeler just absolutely faster than everybody else out here tonight. Has it figured out in a different way. Jordan Wenzel gonna put up a good fight here, but I don't think it's going to matter for much as the 48 just cruises on by him down there on the bottom line. That's still Austin Wheeler, not quite 2 seconds ahead now. It's dropped down to about 0.8 ahead of Jacob Musau. Jacob back there just working on the 22 of Ty Bostic at the moment. So, not totally out of the woods for Austin Wheeler, although if I was in his shoes, I'd feel pretty confident based on his run right now, but never say never. It's not over till it's over. And, Musau's going to have to get around Wenzel here and a couple other drivers as these lap cars continue to be part of the racing here. See Wenzel and Smith going side by side here now as well. Ty Bostic going to look to get around Jordan Wenzel, and Austin Wheeler still just absolutely ripping away from the pack. Taking it out to a little over a second now. It's definitely going to be tough here. But everybody running nice and clean and green here. Lap traffic has been the only thing that's really hindered the field from getting around. Nobody slipping and sliding.
Yeah, and lap traffic has become the leaders and on the lead lap cars. So now we're down to just 7 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. See Jordan Wenzel up in the wall there a little bit. Exited off of the corner and just looked like he spun it a little bit, tried to gather it up, but got in the wall just a touch. Not enough for any significant loss, but it's where the frustration settles in, where you want to be fast, you want to get that run collected and get back up toward the front of the pack, and sometimes you overdrive it and end up doing more damage than good. But sure, that's true for not just the 81, but a lot of drivers out here tonight that are still scratching and clawing at a chance to get points and be competitive, as this is a cutoff race, as the 81 looks like he's going to come down for a green flag pit stop, the first of the group here, to get himself checked out, maybe some fresh tires, so he can get back out there and give it his best.
Well, looking at his last lap time, he was nearly a full second off of Austin Wheeler, so this is a chance to probably get some fresh rubber and get back out there for sure. But it is agonizingly slow around this track.
Yeah, the pit road here is a difficult one. 35 miles an hour. There's one entrance, and you have to go around. If your pit stall is on the front, you have to go around the back, and if your pit stall is on the back, you still got to cruise all the way by pit road speed across the front stretch to get to the pit exit. So not an easy one. A lot of times you see drivers end up getting caught speeding on pit road. Everybody's been minding their P's and Q's in that regard tonight. But an easy place to make mistakes and get caught out. But Jordan Wenzel will come back out here with a fresh set and see what he can do. Other drivers may be in the same situation before we know it, if he's an indicator for how things are going to be going throughout the rest of the race here. Only 44 laps left in this one.
Looking at the 97, he may have had a tire go down. He is showing a meatball flag. He's got some damage on that 97 car. Not sure what the problem is, but
well off the pace.
Yep. He's definitely got some damage. And a black flag, I believe, for entering maybe a little bit too fast coming onto pit road. So the 97's got some challenges ahead of him. He tries to figure out how to get back out there.
Yeah, it looked like an unscheduled pit stop. Maybe the tire was going down. He was just trying to get out of the way, I think, of the 22 there of Ty Bostic and get to the pit road at the same time. A tough deal. It's tough to slow it up, especially if he had something going down on him. And unfortunate, but going to get it taken care of in pit road and see what he can do here to finish this one out.
Well, clearly there's a wear factor on these tires. And remember, these drivers who pitted last on lap 136, like your leader, he's now got 65, 75 laps or so on those tires.
And I'm curious to see how comfortable he feels and how much longer he can run these tires for. Austin Wheeler's last lap was a 15.835. That's still pretty blistering to get around here on that old a tire compared to Jordan Wenzel running a 15.319. That's pretty considerable in terms of half a second difference for the 81 over the leader, but a lot of time, a lot of track position to make up for that car, but just shows you the disparity in the tire fall off here and how long you can take a tire on a run.
Just super smooth. We're on board with Austin Wheeler here as he makes his way around the track.
And you see those movements, just very calculated, very smooth, not getting rattled, just able to control that car. Even when the wheel does get a little out of sort in his hand, he's quick to gather it up and just continue to get down to that yellow line, get back in the throttle. You see him just a master at work, truly, just controlling that throttle and being able to maintain this lead now for all this time. It's incredible to watch, really.
All right, 216 laps in the book, and we are winding down here. Just 5 cars still on the lead lap. 33 laps to go before we call this one done. Your leader, Austin Wheeler, followed by Jacob Musso and Matt Parasiti. That is your potential podium at this point.
It's just a battle of survival right now, Rick.
Oh yeah, well right there, Tyro Lemons, last car on the lead lap, and he's about to go a lap down. Or not. There's a lot to it.
Gonna put up a good fight.
Oh, a little bit of contact, I think.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the 48 definitely wants to make this pass and get clear, but the 99, we saw him do it earlier, was running that top line very effectively, and he continues to do it here as he's running the leader, trying to stay on the lead lap. I mean, you know, drivers trying to stay on that lead lap fight harder. They're a little bit hungrier. As he looks like he's coming up on some lap traffic here. The 27 going to pull down and affect that battle. The 99 of Lem has to get out of the way. 27 ends up scraping up into the wall there. Nothing too worse for wear, but definitely gets in the way of the 99 as he's trying to stay on the lead lap. But Austin Wheeler skates around him, given the situation, and makes the pass and is still charging up at the front of this field.
All right, that puts the 96 of Mike Wheel in his on his radar. He's the second to last. Well, got a few more cars on the lead lap, but that's about it.
Yeah, and again, that Jaws theme might come into handy here. We have to get that on a hotkey next time we come to Bristol, but it's hunting season for the 48 and Austin Wheeler, and he's closing that gap up in a real hurry.
So here's the interesting factor. You know, Jordan Wenzel, fresh tires out, lap time last at a 15.85. Austin Wheeler on 65 lap older tires, 14.92.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's just finding a good rhythm here. Finding a good rhythm here is crucial, and you can see that's what Austin Wheeler's done, and it's really, you know, made all the difference for him tonight.
Bit of a challenge here. You got the 42 of Tony Jabs down below, working around that car. He's got the 81 of Jordan Wenzel trying to get his A-lap back.
He's making some pretty major progress up there with those new tires on the top. He's closed that gap up pretty significantly. I know that's not a battle for position, but
well, it'll be
gonna
one
get a
less.
little sticky.
After that pit stop, he lost 4 laps. He's 4 laps down. So anything he can do to get by.
3 wide on that exit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
22 laps to go. That was a lot. That was a little scary there.
And because of the lap traffic, look who's lurking back there in the 25, that red machine of Jacob Musso, right behind Jordan Wenzel. That gap has closed up to less than a half a second on the leader of Austin Wheeler, as he's had to fight for track position past some of these lap cars. And it's going to play a factor for who might actually win this race tonight.
Yeah, Jacob Musso has been there all season long, right on the outside, looking in, but so close.
Yeah, this one not quite decided yet. 19 laps till we draw this one. Check it as complete, but still plenty of time for things to unfold here for Musso.
I mean,
Gotta
Jacob
stay locked
Musso was, he finished, started third, finished second at Worldwide Technology Center, started 12th and finished second at Darlington. And right now, he's sitting second here at Bristol.
Yeah, the Sheldon Creed of the iNRS series, Jacob Musso. That's something else. I mean, consistent.
Does he wear the black glasses? Does he wear the glasses?
That's the key.
The Clark Kent glasses.
He's going to look to go from Clark Kent to Superman if he can here. It's a half a second gap between these two guys. Oh, as Wheeler gets in the wall a little bit.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Not what he wanted after driving really some perfect laps for over 200 of them, and gets a little bit of that safety barrier.
Yeah, that's definitely a shot across the bow for that 48 car. They're trying to understand, okay, not a lot of laps left here. How much tire do I have? Can I keep running the way I've been running? How much do I have to back off this thing? Now, if he thinks about backing off, he's got to worry about Jacob Musso coming up, because that gap is closed even more. It's now 0.3 as Musso will look.
Musso's got the same life on his tires, but this is all about saving. Maybe he didn't push as hard. Maybe he's got more life.
Whatever the factor may be, it's definitely going to come down to tire wear and how well he can save. That 25 is coming for him.
Yeah,
Rick.
There's no gap. The gap's gone. He's on his bumper.
Yeah, he's going to look to make a move here in the next lap or two here. He looked like he was going to give him a little bit of a push there through the corner and go down to the bottom. That move looked like it was set up, but the 25 is knocking on the door of the 48, Austin Wheeler, after Austin leading a ton of laps. Just really surprising to see. I mean, has to be a situation where Jacob Musso had been saving up some of that, because he's got a great run of speed right now here as we enter into the closing stages. 10 laps to go.
See, Austin Wheeler has led 148 laps here at Bristol. Only more than Jordan Wenzel, who led 84.
Two things that Austin Wheeler don't want to see right now is what he sees in his mirror.
Or out that side window.
Or a yellow flag. Yeah. Oh, there he is, door to door now. These guys going to battle for the lead. Musso's got a little bit of an edge, but there's a lap car down low. It could be a pick situation for Austin Wheeler. Oh, but him and Musso get a little bit slippery there on the exit as they're running door to door, side by side. Jacob Musso going to try to continue to stay with him. Not quite able to get it done. Slips back, concedes back to P2. Oh, and
contact with the 48 was super loose.
I think he gave him a little bit of the chrome horn, Rick. I think he's looking to make that move happen, whether Austin Wheeler wants it to happen or not.
Here comes the 25.
He's going to sail it in there.
Oh, that was
man.
close.
Oh, man.
6 laps to go. Less than 2 minutes of racing left here. 25 wants it. He can taste it.
And the patience is running out for the 25. He's going to go right now. So see how hard he wants to push it. He rides him up high a little bit of contact. He's going to finally make that pass.
48 is loose.
Oh, man.
25 is out in front, but he needs to drive, because if that 48 gets anywhere near him, he is going in the wall.
Absolutely. There's blood in the water, and the 48 is going to have to get a great run of speed to even try to repay the favor the 25 just gave him. What a battle there for a minute. A little bit of bumping and grinding, but everybody, I mean, those two guys keeping it straight, but the patience ran out, and Jacob Musso saw the window of opportunity closing, and he jumped out that window.
All right, stay close. We're going to have all these drivers, top three, in the interview booth after this. Maybe we need to get the boxing gloves out. That could be a little bit of a feisty.
Yeah, we might not want to put Wheeler and Musow in here at the same time.
Goodness gracious.
Further back in the pack, they're 3 wide, the 55, the 70, and the 99. Wow.
White flag flies here. Jacob Musso about to chalk it up to a win here at Bristol, eking it out last few laps, wins here at the Lindsay's Carpet and Paint 250. Wow, for a race that started out with a lot of cautions, a little bit of sloppiness, sure turned into a fun race.
Yeah, 11 cautions in the first half of this one. I don't think we had any the second half. That was an unbelievable run. And what a scrap between the 25 and the 48. 25, Jacob Musow. Oh, man, he really put it on him and made him work, but gets the better end of that deal and gets the win here tonight.
All right, looks like they're waiting for the 24 of Matt Pericini to show up. They had really gotten out in front, and there's Barney looking out for the winners here, the top three there. And this race, let's bring up the grid. We should have, at this point, the results.
Yeah, and your winner, Jacob Musow, there finishes this race number 1 on the cutoff here at Bristol. Austin Wheeler in second. Matthew Pericini finishes third. Mike Wheel in the 96 finishes fourth. Billy Smith, who had been up and down all day long, believe it or not, that 70 car comes home fifth. 55 of Vince Burns in sixth. Tyler Lemon, that 99 machine, in seventh position. Ty Bostic in eighth. The 19 saw some damage, finishes ninth. Jordan Wenzel wraps out the top 10.
In 11th, Richard Mills. 12th, Austin Walton. Dakota LaRue in 13th. Garrett Walden in 14th. Corianis in 15th. Jeff Ramsdale in 16th. Eric Jeffers in 17th. In 18th, you got Tony Japs. 19th, Joe Musso. Chris Cash in 20th. Ron Fitting in 21st. And John Drudris in 22nd. That is the results here at the Lindsay Carpet and Paint. And with that, we should hopefully have our drivers here for interviews momentarily.
Yeah, Jacob Musow's driving this thing all the way to Victory Lane. I don't know where he's going. He's on a little excursion there in the infield.
Let's hide the results here. I think he brought it right up there.
Good for him. That's awesome.
You can do that in Bristol. Oh, well, we can't do it anymore. Don't think we. Yep, that's all we got. That's all she wrote there. So let's bring those results back up, and let's bring Mr. Matt Pericini into the broadcast booth. All right, Matt. Matt, congratulations on your finish here. Man, this was a wild one.
Yeah, it was a typical Bristol race, I would say, more than anything else. This is my worst oval, so I guess to take a P3, I should be pretty happy.
Yeah. If you can call it that, then yeah, I'd be pretty stoked.
Yeah, we had a good night. Would have been nice if I wouldn't have had that contact with Ennis and Lem, but I can't go any lower. I'm on the apron, and what am I supposed to do? So, other than that, I was looking for just a clean night. Just get through safe, get enough points to hopefully advance to the next row, which I'm pretty sure we did with the stage points in the third. So we're going to take this 40 XLI Mosh Custom Chevy to the next round and see what we can do there.
Well, congratulations on that for sure. It's great to see you battling there. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, just my team, 40 XLI, Jordan, Mike, Garrett, great bunch of guys to race for. Mike came up with this new paint scheme for the playoffs. It looks really sick. Jordan really liked it because it reminded him of some of his cars. So really happy about that. And just thanks to my wife, Leanne, and daughter, Johanna, for letting me come race with the boys on Thursday night. And thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast and the admins for iNRS for all they do for us.
Got it. All right, there is Matt Pericini finishing in third. And with that, let's bring in Mr. Austin Wheeler, who may not be the happiest guy on the track right now. But Austin, I'd say congratulations, but that probably felt a little hard there, a little tough racing.
That's all right. That's short track stuff. It's all good to be expected. Part of the deal.
Well, for that, the congratulations. You mean you led a lot of laps tonight. Really a challenging track here. We definitely could tell that the update has certainly made a difference in the way these cars drive.
Well, yeah, I mean, it changed really how you drive the track. I mean, the top lane is pretty much useless. It's like it's super greasy up there, and you can't make any speed up there. So we were all kind of stuck on the bottom. And even then, the bottom was still better throughout the whole run, pretty much. It would take probably 30, 40 laps for that middle line to actually come in and be like equal to. But oh, that was a good race. I mean, we had a lot of fun, a lot of green flag running. Everything Jacob did was fair. It's all good. He raced for the win. I was trying to sweep the first round though, so it did this thing a little bit. But it's good to see him win, and all these guys have a good time. I mean, how about that? We lapped everybody up till third place.
Pretty
Yeah,
incredible.
it was real belt to ass out there for a little while. You were really putting it down. Does that give you just as much confidence as if you had one getting ready to go into this next round, knowing that you put on such a dominant performance here tonight?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it always feels good to run up front and be able to outpace some of the guys. But when you lap almost the whole entire field and it's just you and one other dude, I think that sends a message.
Well,
Absolutely.
I think you sent a message this entire round of the playoffs here with 2 wins and a nearly win, second place finish. So, you and yourself and Jacob really have had a great first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the playoffs. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be awesome racing with Jacob and Jordan and Matt and all the guys you always see running top 5 or 6. It's going to be a big challenge, and I'm excited for it.
Got it. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, the whole league, you guys for broadcasting this, all the drivers in here tonight. I mean, I don't think I've ever ran, what was it, 120 laps green? That was insane.
Yep.
So, good for these guys, and had a lot of fun tonight, and look forward to next week.
Sounds great. Well, we'll see you in New Hampshire. That's your second place finisher tonight, Mr. Austin Wheeler. And with that, we'll bring into the broadcast booth your winner tonight, Jacob Musso. Jacob, wow, that was great.
Thanks.
Take us through those last few laps as you were battling there with Austin. It was a great battle between you two. Felt like old school NASCAR there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely with the line of the track tonight, it was hard to make passes. So you really had to get to the bottom. But luckily, I caught him with the lap traffic, and I felt like I saved my stuff a little bit. Just minding my own business, making sure I was getting the good turn off on exit, making my wheels straight. And I think I caught him with, I don't know, 20 laps to go. I realized I could get him. So I put my head down and I got to him, and we were doing some old fashioned door banging there. Felt like I was back with Dale Earnhardt and Terry Labonte, but luckily none of us spun out. But yeah, it was a great battle. I mean, I was trying to give him as much room as I could, not sliding up. But once the tires got really hot for me holding on the bottom like that, I slid up and got into him. Didn't want to pass him like that, but short track racing, so anything can happen.
That was a absolute great finish, and congratulations on the win. And we were just talking earlier to Austin about his playoff run, but you're right there. Here we are, 1 win and 2 second place finishes. Just a great first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I came in thinking that Darlington was going to be my only top 5. I've shocked myself the last 2 weeks. Gateway and Bristol, and now we got New Hampshire, probably my 3 worst short tracks. So I'll take a win in a second place. Hopefully I got a little bit better luck at New Hampshire. I doubt it. I'll probably be in the turn 1 fence. So yeah, luckily I got some good point cushion out of this one.
That's pretty good for a guy these are his worst tracks. So keep saying that. New Hampshire, you'll be right back in second place again, I bet.
I hope so.
All right, congratulations. Shout outs tonight, Jacob. Did we already do that?
No, I want to shout out all the boys at SFM. They had pretty crappy races with all the early cautions. Luckily, we got a long run there at the end, but Yeah, like all the boys at SFM, Jordan, Garrett, all our buddies in the league for putting on a good series, and you guys for a great broadcast.
Got it. All right. Thank you very much. And thank you to Jacob Musso for his win tonight here at the Lindsay's Carpet and Paint 250 here at Bristol. Sal, just a great race tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Flag to flag, there was action, throughout the whole race. We saw 11 cautions in the first half of this one, and then none at all the second half. So you really a tale of the tape here, a tale of two races tonight. Seeing Austin run all those laps up at the front, and lap cars become a factor. All that action in the second half compared to what we saw in the first half, just trying to scratch and claw and keep things rolling. It was one that gave us a little flavor of everything tonight. And I don't know about you, Rick, but it was a great time to watch from end to end here at Bristol.
Yeah, absolutely. So next week we venture up to New Hampshire for some lobster to see who can take that race home.
Yeah, New Hampshire, like you said, it's a tough place. It's really flat. It's not easy to get the job done there either in terms of passing. So a lot of practice this week for these guys, I'm sure. Like Jordan or Jacob mentioned, it's not one of his finest tracks, but you find a little bit of luck in the playoffs sometimes and the hot hand rides. So we'll see what some of these drivers have in store for us next week as they go on now to the next round of the playoffs.
All right, so next week we will be in New Hampshire for the USA Today 151. So we've got 151 laps in New Hampshire here for next Thursday night. Also, if you're inclined, we'll also be at that same track on Wednesday night as well. So if you like what you see and you enjoy iRacing, feel free to tune in Wednesday nights for the Tech for Troops Cup Series and Thursday nights back here in the iNRS Racing Series. We'd love to have you as part of our IWM broadcast family. So from Sal and myself, good night, and we'll catch you next time. Good night.